First of all, we have a pistol shot. Looks a lot like Injustice 1. 22 startup frames, so it's not the fastest. And doesn't do a lot of damage, even when meter burned. But they're quite good. You can sort of machine gun them against some opponents, because her recovery is really, really good. It does move her forward, which is kind of annoying at times, because you end up moving closer to the opponent you want to keep out. But it's also good if you're like counter zoning, so you do a couple of gunshots and you actually move towards them. So it's sort of a win-lose win. It's a high, so they can duck it. Both of these are plus on block. The meter burn is +7, and the regular one is +2, which is really interesting because you can go into stuff like back one gunshot, which doesn't work on all characters, mostly big ones except Superman. I'll make a guide on which characters it works on, but you can do that and end up +2 or even more, I think, considering the pushback. So you can really harass some opponents with back 2 gunshot, back 2 gunshot. But obviously not Catwoman. Then you have up pistol, 24 startup frames, so it's slightly slower than the regular ones. And you have a meter burn 1. Looks like this. Meter burn 1 I don't think I've ever used, but this one is kind of okay for baiting jumps at times. It's kind of weird. This sort of hitbox on it, it's not the best, but I throw it out at times, similar to like how Batman uses his up batarang, like just throw it out at times to keep them from jumping. For instance, if you do a trade call, a lot of people will jump and you shoot them out of the air with that. It's also a combo extender after this string. And most importantly is that you can cancel it into regular gunshot. As you can see, she cancels into regular gunshot, which will catch people off guard, because if they see you whiffing an up gun, they think, oh well, maybe I can move now, and they get hit with a straight gunshot. You can also go for the like double fake out, which is that, because if they know that you whiff it and go for the regular gunshot, they'll try to move after the gunshot and they get hit by the meter burn part. So it's kind of a mind game. Again, her recovery is quite good, so it's not too dangerous to just throw it out at times. Again, the meter burn one is not the best. Then we have Play Doctor, her command grab. It's a good combo ender, especially in the corner, because it keeps them standing. It's a high, so they can duck it, meaning her tick throws are kind of useless. But there are a few from down 1, back 1, 2. I think those are the most interesting ones. Also from down 2 you can tick throw. The meter burn one, oops, gives you a lot of damage over time, as you can see. And it's also a really good combo ender to like go for the damage over time and try to chip them out with the gunshots or whatever. It's 14 startup frames and her only wake up attack that's sort of invincible, but again it's a high and they can jump it, so it's not the best. Then we have the cupcakes. I use this too little. They're 22 startup frames, so, and they also don't reach full screen, which is kind of what annoys me. Like if you're here or even here, you won't reach. So I don't find them that useful, but they're really useful against opponents that want to go up in the air, your Black Adams or your Supermans. And the EX1 looks like that. Throw 3 cupcakes and you can get a gunshot after, because it juggles. But the spacing is kind of weird, because like you can't throw them out from here, because if they move forward they will avoid it and punish you. You can see the recovery is horrible. So you have to be sort of careful with them. It's -13 on block, but the meter burn one is 0, so that's quite good. Then we have Pop Pop. This one. It's a mid. some can duck it, what I've seen, but I'm not sure. Maybe that might be low profiling moves. You can hold it and throw out a slow moving unblockable thingy, which is actually quite interesting because if you get it, you can throw out your trait and sort of litter the screen with stuff. You can also, I use this a lot after the trait to sort of, if they block their trait, there's a ball coming after them. Sometimes when you hold it, it will, let's see if I can get it. It will throw out a dud. It's not really working now. Anyway, there we go. And then you're stuck in an animation forever, and it's really annoying. I don't know why they kept that, but fine. You can also cancel it, which is mostly like if you see them coming in, you just backdash or forward dash, or like if, I don't know, if you want to go for like a setup. It's not super great, but it's a good thing that you can hold it and cancel it. Then you can meter burn it, because this one is -14 on block, but this one is, doesn't say, but it's plus on block. And you can see I get to move much faster, which means in the combo, or in the corner, you can actually do stuff like this. And this all combos. And so on and so forth. Which is interesting, but it's not super great. Then we have the tantrum stance. This one is the, what should I say, the Harley special. So it's a 19 frame low startup. You can use this as a wake up because it low profiles a bit of stuff and it's quite fast, but it's not fully invincible, so you get stuffed a lot as well. But you want to use this as your combo starter. This is what makes, one of the reasons why Harley is really strong, because she gets a meterless launcher from everything she does, even mid-screen, so she doesn't have to use her meter to get big combo damage, and she can use it on her ender or like her zoning or whatever. You have different options from this. This is the cartwheel, the most common one. You have to hit confirm this because it's -10 on block, meaning you'll get punished by every character in the game. Then you have the boom boom, which is an extra low. I tend to use this because sometimes I'll use tantrum stance like in the neutral because of its great reach. Like this is a lot further than the what's it called, the back two, so you can sort of like bait something out, or like even whiff punish with tantrum stance. And if you like mess up and you end up here, you can do, for instance, that for an extra low. It's not safe at all. You can see it takes me forever to get up, but it's something. Bullet Frenzy, this one is similar. All those shots don't come out of block, which is annoying. Otherwise it would be kind of good, because it would occupy a lot of their time. This one you can use like for some swaggy hit confirms, but usually you're better off doing like 1-2 into cartwheel and get the big damage. But it looks good. They are both hard knockdowns as well and super unsafe on block. Then you have like the tricky stuff, going for a back roll. You see this is blocked, you go for a back roll. Let's put you on block. Like so. Maybe you go 1-2, you don't hit confirm properly, and then you roll back. And this is kind of hard to punish, because you can see she rolls back quite a bit, so they have to be quick about it. Also, you can roll forward, and try to like catch them off guard, because sometimes they're waiting for you to do this so they can punish it. And if you instead roll forward, you can try to catch them off guard with an instant jump too, or like, I don't know, going for a throw. Just try to mess with her head. Again, this is all unsafe, but that doesn't mean, since she has so many options, it doesn't mean that it being unsafe makes it unviable. Then we have her super move, where she does a tantrum-like slide. Funny thing is that bomb remains on screen for a bit. And if they get hit by it, they still get launched for the combo. So if they jump over, they can still get hit. It's decent. I wouldn't use it like all the time. We can watch it. But closing out rounds, it's quite good.
We ain't done playing yet.
So that's what it looks like. I'm gonna go over a trade as well. Looks like this. She throws a bone and Bud or Lou comes out. If she holds up during it, it becomes an overhead, which is usually the better option. You can also hold it. Both of them come out, or you can hold it and hold up, and both of them come out for an overhead. You can also go for the mid overhead by pressing back, or overhead mid by pressing forward. I consider all these holds to be quite bad, honestly. Because as you can see, I can't move forever. So it's hard to set up and doesn't really lead to anything. But this trait really helps her zoning game. Every knockdown or every time they're sort of hesitating to go in, you throw it out and you get a lot of space to move. The overhead one is really good to get them to like either stand up and block, because they have to block the overhead, so you can sort of jail into gunshots for some chip, or you can predict them jumping, or try to catch them out of the air, and so on and so forth. So I think the trade is really good. It's also good for like corner setups, where you don't want them to wake up. So you end your combos in trades, and you continue your pressure. If they wake up, they usually get hit by the trait. Maybe you get hit as well, but then you get knocked back, and they're still knocked down towards the corner, so it's fine. Recharges quite quickly. As you can see, it's not really a big deal. You usually have trait when you want it. It happens that I try to call it and I don't have it, but usually you have one of the hyenas, so it's not a big deal. And it really helps out our zoning game. Like, you throw this out, you get a chance for a pop, or just like in general. I didn't go over her up guns, I just realized. I mean her jump guns. This is one of her most important thingies. Air Pistol Fury. So, looks like this. Back one, down back one in the air. You can do it semi-instantly if you're not bad like me. You can meter burn it. This is really good for her mobility because she can delay her jump ins. Like, they try to anti-air you, you hit them with a gun instead. And when they stop trying to anti-air you, you go with a jump in. You can avoid a lot of zoning this way. I really like this sort of, you keep this sort of range where you will hit with your jump gun, but they can't really do anything about it. Also, you can try to catch them off guard if they try to move in after your gunshot. You meter burn it. As all her guns, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it adds up and it builds a lot of meter. And just keeps her really, really mobile and makes her really hard to anti-air, and it makes her like, she can control the airspace really well with up guns and jump guns. And as I said, it's an overhead, so you can do like instant gun and hit them right in the face. You can also do stuff like jump in, jump in, overhead, stuff like that. If you wanna, if they're sort of predicting you to always go into jump into back two. It's not super safe, but it's something you can do. And as I said, you can always try to meter burn it late to catch them off guard. But anyways, this is it for now. Thanks for watching. Bye.